Welcome to this exploration of one of Mesoamerica's most fascinating civilizations, the Aztec Empire. I've long been captivated by the complex political and social structures of pre-Columbian America, and the Aztecs stand out as a particularly intriguing case study. Today, we'll delve into the rise and fall of this powerful alliance that dominated central Mexico in the 15th and early 16th centuries. Before we begin, it's important to note that the term Aztec Empire is a modern construct. The people we refer to as Aztecs called themselves Mexica, and their realm was known as the Tlacaelel, or the Triple Alliance. This alliance was formed in 1428 by three Nahua city-states, Mexico, Tenochtitlan, Texcoco, and Tlacopan. These three powers came together in the aftermath of a civil war against the city of Azcapotzalco, uniting to create what would become the dominant force in the Valley of Mexico. The formation of this alliance marked a turning point in Mesoamerican history. It's fascinating to consider how three previously independent city-states came together to create such a formidable power. The alliance was not an equal partnership, however. Over time, Tenochtitlan emerged as the dominant force, with the other two cities taking on more subsidiary roles. This shift in power dynamics within the alliance is crucial to understanding the empire's later development and eventual downfall. One aspect of the Aztec Empire that I find particularly intriguing is its system of indirect rule. Unlike many other empires throughout history, the Aztecs didn't seek to impose direct control over conquered territories. Instead, they allowed local rulers to maintain their positions, so long as they paid regular tribute to the alliance. This system of hegemonic control was remarkably effective, allowing the Aztecs to expand their influence across a vast and diverse area of central Mexico. The Aztec Empire was an example of an empire that ruled by indirect means. It was ethnically very diverse, like most European empires, but was more a system of tributes than a single unitary form of government. To truly understand the Aztec Empire, we must first grasp the fundamental unit of Mesoamerican political organization, the Altepetl. These city-states, each ruled by a Tlatoani or speaker, formed the building blocks of the Aztec imperial system. The Altepetl was not merely a political entity, but a complex social and economic unit that tied people to the land and to each other through intricate webs of obligation and loyalty. What's particularly fascinating about the Aztec Empire is how it managed to incorporate this traditional form of organization into a larger imperial structure. The empire didn't seek to replace the Altepetl system, but rather to co-opt it, creating a network of tributary relationships that funneled wealth and resources towards the imperial centre. This approach allowed for a remarkable degree of local autonomy within the broader framework of imperial control. At the apex of this system stood the Huey Tlatoani, or Great Speaker, of Tenochtitlan. This figure, often referred to as the Aztec Emperor in popular literature, wielded significant power, but was far from an absolute monarch in the European sense. The Huey Tlatoani's authority was balanced by that of the Cihuacuatl, a sort of prime minister figure responsible for internal affairs. This dual leadership structure reflects the Nahua cosmological principle of duality, a concept that permeated many aspects of Aztec society and governance. One of the most intriguing aspects of Aztec imperial administration was the role played by the Pochteca, or long-distance merchants. These individuals weren't merely traders, but also served as diplomats, spies, and judges. The Pochteca played a crucial role in the expansion and maintenance of the empire, gathering intelligence and establishing trade networks that helped bind the diverse regions of Mesoamerica together under Aztec hegemony. Their unique position, straddling the worlds of commerce and statecraft, highlights the sophisticated nature of Aztec imperial governance. The Pochteca strongly tied their power, political and economic, to the political and military power of the Aztec nobility and state. No discussion of the Aztec Empire would be complete without delving into the profound role that religion played in shaping its political and social structures. At the heart of Aztec metaphysics lay the concept of Teotl, a dynamic, ever-present sacred force that permeated all aspects of existence. This concept formed the basis of a complex theological system that blended elements of pantheism and polytheism. What I find particularly fascinating about Aztec religion is how it served as both a unifying force and a tool of imperial expansion. The Aztec state religion, centered around the worship of Huitzilopochtli, the god of war and the sun, provided a cosmic justification for imperial conquest. The Aztecs saw themselves as the chosen people of Huitzilopochtli, tasked with the sacred duty of providing the god with the nourishment he needed to continue his daily battle against the forces of darkness. This religious worldview had profound implications for Aztec statecraft. The practice of human sacrifice, which has so captured the imagination of the later observers, was seen as a cosmic necessity, a way of sustaining the universe itself. The Aztec Empire's expansion was thus not merely a matter of political or economic ambition, but a sacred duty. This belief system helped to motivate and justify the empire's military campaigns, which were often aimed at capturing prisoners for sacrifice. However, it's important to note that the Aztecs were not religious zealots in the modern sense. Their approach to the religions of conquered peoples was remarkably pragmatic. While they insisted on the inclusion of Huitzilopochtli in local pantheons, they generally allowed subject peoples to continue their own religious practices. This religious tolerance was another key factor in the empire's ability to maintain control over a vast and diverse territory. It was under Tlacaelel that Huitzilopochtli assumed his elevated role in the state pantheon, and who argued that it was through blood sacrifice that the sun would be maintained, and thereby stave off the end of the world. The period from the formation of the Triple Alliance in 1428 to the arrival of the Spanish in 1519 saw a remarkable expansion of Aztec power and influence. This expansion was not a continuous process, but rather a series of campaigns interspersed with periods of consolidation and occasional setbacks. What's particularly interesting about this period is how the balance of power within the Triple Alliance shifted over time, with Tenochtitlan gradually asserting its dominance over its nominal partners. One of the key figures in this period of expansion was Tlacaelel, who served as Cihuacoatl, chief minister, to several Aztec rulers. Tlacaelel was instrumental in shaping the ideology that drove Aztec expansion, emphasizing the cosmic importance of warfare and sacrifice. He also oversaw significant reforms to the Aztec state, including changes to the education system and the codification of social hierarchies. Tlacaelel's influence was so profound that some scholars have dubbed him the architect of the Aztec Empire. The reign of Ahuitzotl from 1486 to 1502 marked the zenith of Aztec power. Under his rule, the empire reached its greatest territorial extent, stretching from the Pacific coast to the Gulf of Mexico. Ahuitzotl's conquest brought vast amounts of tribute flowing into Tenochtitlan, fueling an unprecedented period of architectural and artistic achievement. The Great Templo Mayor, the ceremonial heart of the Aztec capital, was expanded and embellished during this time, becoming a potent symbol of Aztec power and religious devotion. However, this period of expansion also sowed the seeds of future conflict. The Aztec Empire's relentless demand for tribute and sacrificial victims created resentment among subject peoples. Moreover, the empire's expansion brought it into conflict with other powerful states, notably the Tarascans to the west, who successfully resisted Aztec incursions. These tensions would later prove crucial in shaping the response to the arrival of the Spanish conquistadors. By the reign of Ahuitzotl, the Mexica were the largest and most powerful faction in the Aztec Triple Alliance. The arrival of Hernán Cortés and his expedition in 1519 marked the beginning of the end for the Aztec Empire. The events that followed, the capture of Moctezuma II, the Noche Triste, the siege of Tenochtitlan, have been recounted countless times, often with a focus on the military aspects of the conquest. However, I find it more interesting to consider the deeper factors that made the Spanish conquest possible. One crucial element was the complex web of alliances and enmities that existed among the indigenous peoples of Mexico. The Tlaxcalans, longtime enemies of the Aztecs, proved to be crucial allies for Cortés, providing him with thousands of warriors. This highlights the fact that the Aztec Empire, for all its power, was not a monolithic entity, but a fragile coalition held together by force and shared interests. The Spanish were able to exploit these divisions to devastating effect. Another factor that played a crucial role in the fall of the Aztec Empire was the devastating impact of Old World diseases, particularly smallpox. These diseases, to which the indigenous populations had no immunity, swept through Mesoamerica with terrifying speed, decimating populations and disrupting social and political structures. The smallpox epidemic that struck Tenochtitlan in 1520, killing the Emperor Tlacaelel among many others, was a decisive blow to Aztec resistance. The fall of Tenochtitlan in 1521 marked the end of the Aztec Empire as a political entity, but it did not erase the cultural and social structures that had underpinned it. Many aspects of Aztec culture and social organization persisted into the colonial period and beyond, shaping the development of Mexican society in profound ways. The legacy of the Aztec Empire continues to be felt in modern Mexico, from place names and linguistic borrowings to deeper cultural practices and beliefs. As we conclude this exploration of the Aztec Empire, I'm struck by the complexity and sophistication of this Mesoamerican civilization. From its system of indirect rule to its intricate religious beliefs, the Aztec Empire represents a unique and fascinating chapter in world history. Its rise and fall offer valuable insights into the nature of power, the role of ideology in state formation, and the profound impact that cultural contact can have on societies. The story of the Aztecs reminds us of the diversity of human political and social arrangements and the often unexpected ways in which historical change occurs. The outbreak alone killed more than 50% of the region's population, including the Emperor Tlacaelel, as the indigenous of the New World had no previous exposure to smallpox. As we come to the end of our exploration of the Aztec Empire, it's worth taking a moment to reflect on its enduring legacy and the lessons we can draw from its history. The story of the Aztecs is not merely a tale of a long-gone civilization, but a complex narrative that continues to resonate in the modern world. One of the most striking aspects of the Aztec legacy is its persistence in modern Mexican culture. From the eagle and serpent on the Mexican flag, a direct reference to the Aztec foundation myth of Tenochtitlan, to the Nahuatl words that pepper Mexican Spanish, the influence of the Aztecs is everywhere. This cultural continuity, persisting despite the rupture of the Spanish conquest, speaks to the deep roots and resilience of Mesoamerican civilization. Moreover, the study of the Aztec Empire offers valuable insights into the nature of state formation and imperial rule. The Aztec system of hegemonic control, balancing local autonomy with central authority, presents an intriguing alternative to more centralized models of empire. It raises questions about the different ways in which political power can be exercised and maintained over diverse populations, questions that remain relevant in our increasingly globalized world. The religious and cosmological aspects of Aztec civilization also offer food for thought. The Aztec worldview, with its emphasis on cosmic balance and the cyclical nature of time, presents a stark contrast to linear, progress-oriented Western paradigms. While we may recoil at practices such as human sacrifice, understanding the logic behind these acts, however alien it may seem to us, can broaden our perspective on the diverse ways in which humans have sought to make sense of their place in the universe. Finally, the fall of the Aztec Empire serves as a potent reminder of the often unexpected ways in which historical change occurs. The confluence of factors that led to the Spanish conquest, from pre-existing indigenous alliances to the devastating impact of disease, highlights the complex interplay of forces that shape historical events. It's a reminder of the need for nuance and context in our understanding of history, moving beyond simplistic narratives of conquest and resistance. As we close this chapter, I hope this exploration has sparked your curiosity about the Aztecs and the broader tapestry of Mesoamerican history. There's so much more to discover about this fascinating civilization, from its intricate calendar systems to its sophisticated agricultural practices. Perhaps in future episodes we can delve deeper into some of these aspects. As always, I'm eager to hear your thoughts and questions. What aspects of Aztec history would you like to explore further? Your engagement truly helps shape the direction of these discussions, so please do share your feedback in the comments. And if you found this exploration valuable, consider subscribing to the channel for more in-depth historical analyses. Until next time, thank you for joining me on this journey through the rise and fall of the Aztec Empire.